Hello, welcome back to my channel and to another reaction video. This time we're checking with another Fallout lore video. This is the Brotherhood of Steel. And yes, I did check out
On
the
January 7th,
the upcoming
2077, a
Fallout
group of
TV
researchers and a
series trailer.
detachment of
That's why
American
I'm
military
here.
personnel were assigned to the newly constructed Mariposa military base in Central California. Their purpose was to oversee the development of a secret project critical to the war effort, the exact nature of which was known only to a select few. By October, however, the military detachment had learned the truth. Deep within Mariposa, prisoners of war had been used as unwilling test subjects and exposed to the forced evolutionary virus. Intended to create a race of super soldiers, the FEV instead resulted in terrible mutations and aberrant creatures. The revelation led to the mental breakdown and suicide of the base's commanding officer. In lieu of any official order, the military personnel within Mariposa turned to Captain Roger Maxson. Maxson immediately began a full interrogation of the research team he had been sent to protect and, horrified at the extent of their experiments, subsequently executed them all for their crimes.
Yeah, I mean,
On October
it would be
20th,
pretty
Maxson, now in
disturbing,
full control of Mariposa, made a radio transmission declaring
but they are
his
also
desertion
rather
from the
cruel
United States
response,
Army.
just executing
Across
them.
the world, however, the war between the United States and the People's Republic of China had escalated out of control. Maxson, his men, and his declaration were overlooked. 3 days later, nearly all humanity was extinguished in a nuclear holocaust. What none could have
Truly
realized at
terrifying.
the time was that Maxson's transmission would mark the founding of a new organization, one that would dedicate itself to rebuilding civilization, no matter the cost. Its name is known, feared, praised, and hated across the wasteland that was once America: the Brotherhood of Steel. Yet even as the fires of the Great War still lingered, Maxson led his men and the remnants of their families away from Mariposa, taking with them all the supplies and weaponry they could carry. In what would be enshrined in Brotherhood lore as the Exodus, the group braved the earliest days of the wasteland, fighting off psychotic raiders and desperate survivors before finally arriving at the safety of Lost Hills, a government fallout shelter. Over the following decades, Maxson and the Brotherhood gathered their strength and formed the principles and structure that would govern the organization in the centuries to come. When Maxson died in 2135, his son Maxson II succeeded him as High Elder. Under his leadership, the Brotherhood slowly extended their influence in the area surrounding
That's an
Lost
interesting
Hills,
title,
quickly becoming one
High
of the
Elder.
major factions of the wasteland. By 2155, the Brotherhood had encountered a prominent raider group known as the Vipers. While these raiders would eventually be driven to near extinction, the Brotherhood's initial overconfidence resulted in the death of Maxson II and the appointment of his son, John Maxson, as High Elder. Despite this loss, the annihilation of the Vipers helped
Yeah, I
stabilize
think this
the
is
region,
from the
and
first
trade soon began
Fallout
between the
game.
Brotherhood of Steel and various settlements, most notably the Hub.
I definitely need to
In
try
2161,
out
the
that game.
Brotherhood stumbled across the corpse of a super mutant. These savage, mutated humans were the result of the forced evolutionary virus, released across the wasteland in the aftermath of the Great War. This horrified the Brotherhood, which quickly grew fanatical in their quest to annihilate them. The following year, a legend of the wasteland known only as the Vault Dweller arrived in Lost Hills, seeking entry to the Brotherhood. He was given an impossible task meant to deter
Is
would-be
this the
recruits, but to the
character
Brotherhood's
you play as,
astonishment, he
maybe?
succeeded. From the Vault Dweller, the Brotherhood learned of the Master, a hideous creature who, together with his super mutant army, plotted to expose the remaining human population to the FEV. Convinced to act against this threat, the Brotherhood of Steel, together with the Vault Dweller, returned to Mariposa, destroying the Master and scattering his army. The defeat of the Master solidified the Brotherhood as the greatest power in the wasteland, for they alone controlled access to some of the most advanced technology from before the Great War. Yet with very little manpower and rival factions growing across the region, many began advocating that their technology be shared with outsiders and new recruits encouraged. In the end, it was determined that the secrecy of the Brotherhood was paramount, and their technology was to remain in their hands alone. Those who disagreed with the decision were sent on expeditions to the east, founding satellite chapters of the Brotherhood in Chicago, Washington, D.C., the Mojave, and elsewhere. By 2242, the Brotherhood of Steel's technological supremacy had been rendered obsolete by the Enclave, a remnant of the United States government possessing
I have
far
reacted to
greater
the Enclave
resources and more
trailer.
advanced equipment. Outposts
Lore
and
video,
bunkers
whatever.
across California were reactivated to deal with this threat, but before the outbreak of any open conflict, the Enclave was suddenly and unexpectedly destroyed by another legendary figure of the wasteland known as the Chosen One. Their collapse ended any threat to the Brotherhood, and it was rumored that some of the Enclave's most advanced schematics were eventually recovered and studied deep within Lost Hills in the wake of their defeat. In 2231, the Brotherhood of Steel, now under the leadership of Jeremy Maxson, began aggressively expanding their operations eastward.
The same family still rules the Brotherhood,
they seized
seems.
any and all technology from so-called lesser people and jealously hoarded all they found. This led to disputes and eventually war with the new California Republic, which had launched its own ambitious expansion. Despite the Brotherhood's overwhelming technological advantage, their lack of manpower made any prolonged conflict with the NCR unwinnable, and eventually they were forced to retreat into the safety of their bunker network. Sporadic fighting would continue as late as 2287, particularly in the Mojave. It was on the East Coast, however, where the Brotherhood of Steel underwent a significant resurgence. A large contingent sent to re-establish contact with the lost Midwestern chapter instead found itself in the capital wasteland. Here they fought against remnants of the Enclave, which had themselves relocated to the region. After eradicating the local slavers and mutants and founding a new headquarters known as the Citadel, a second expeditionary force was deployed northward to the Commonwealth. These forces were sent aboard the massive
I do like the
airship
design
Trinity,
of the ships
designed
they were
and
building.
constructed over a period of 6 years and
Same
unlike
goes to the
anything
mech
else
suits or
ever
whatever
seen in
they're
the
called.
wasteland. Under the leadership of Arthur Maxson, this detachment of the Brotherhood sought to find and confront the Institute, a highly feared and secretive organization rumored to possess unfathomable technology. While the Capital, Commonwealth, Mojave, and Californian chapters of the Brotherhood all exhibit varying tactics and doctrines, they all share the same basic organizational structure. A ruling council known as the Elders governs their internal affairs, while the High Elder, usually a descendant of the Maxson family, presides over the council itself. A purely military order, every member of the Brotherhood is organized into various ranks which determine their status and responsibilities. These vary considerably across the different chapters, but typically include knights, responsible for the manufacture of weapons and other technology, scribes, who investigate and reverse engineer new technologies, and initiates, new recruits in the process of training before they can be accepted into either group. Paladins are the pinnacle rank of the Brotherhood military, responsible for major operations across the wasteland and typically promoted to Elder upon retirement. All Brotherhood personnel are trained in the manner of pre-war American soldiers and have access to advanced power armor, laser rifles, and even vertibirds, giving them unparalleled firepower and maneuverability. Access to pre-war technology is the Brotherhood's greatest advantage, and their reverence towards it has become almost religious in nature. While more moderate beliefs have begun to hold sway in certain chapters, the most fanatical elements of the Brotherhood still show extreme reluctance in sharing even the most basic technology with outsiders. While this devotion has been the cause of wars across the wasteland and soured their reputation, it has also given the Brotherhood of Steel perhaps the greatest collection of advanced cybernetics, computers, medical equipment, and robots found anywhere in the wasteland. Liberty Prime is perhaps the most formidable artifact, restored to working order by a chapter on the East Coast, and said to have taken part in battles in the Capital Wasteland and the Commonwealth.
Oh.
The ideology of the Brotherhood of Steel, like everything else in the wasteland, has been mutated, sometimes
I
beyond
do love this
recognition.
style of
Whether they hoard their
artwork.
technology so that they might one day use it to assist in the rebuilding of the wasteland, or simply so that no one else can have it, the answer might differ from chapter to chapter. One thing is certain, however. On October 23, 2077, Science outpaced man's restraint, and billions across the world died for it. Until the wasteland is truly ready for the most terrible advancements of the old world, it might be better that they remain under the control of the Brotherhood of Steel.
Okay.
The Templin
Well, there you have it, folks. The Brotherhood of Steel, and this was very interesting. So the Brotherhood was founded by this Maxim the First, who, and then has been under the leadership of that one family since. I mean, it does have different chapters and different parts of America, and each has its own doctrine. I mean, they've been fighting who knows what for how long, so they all evolve a bit differently as a society, but they still have the same, what was it, same structure, which is very interesting. There were, I mean, I was very, I mean, I've said it before, they always use the best uh, fan art in these videos, and I don't know. But yeah, there were some pretty cool technology that the Brotherhood of Steel uses. A giant robot threw me off a bit, but it was kind of funny, kind of goofy. Maybe it's just because, I don't know. Have you seen Pacific Rim, the most awesome dumb movie in recent years? But yeah, I just recently watched the TV show, the trailer for the TV show, and they showed some of the Brotherhood of Steel. I remember because I have seen, as I said it before, seen the lore video on the Enclave, and they mentioned the Brotherhood of Steel and the war they fought and whatnot. When I watched the trailer for the TV show, I recognized the armor these folks were using. I didn't remember the name back then, but yeah. After I definitely I'm going to check the TV show and react to it for sure. And I feel like it's better to check up on the lore before going in. And yeah, this is my second lore video, so and I have not played the games. But if they I don't know how many Fallout games there were. I think they showed a clip of the first one. The graphics in it seemed like it was very old. But yeah, what else? What else? Yeah, and I mean, in this video they pretty much. I mean, after the nuclear war, now the different factions are fighting, and yeah, I'm not much to say about from this video. What the other factions are, I'll be checking out videos on them as well. So, but yeah, the interesting part was the what was it the one with the freaky technology. They mentioned how they believe that they have the most advanced technology, secret society or of some such. Definitely need to check up on this one next. This was perhaps the most interesting. But yeah, and yeah, even though this the Brotherhood of Steel started out as an seemingly militaristic and scientific faction, towards the end, uh, uh, some parts of it have embraced this kind of fanatical, almost religious like aspects, which I mean, when you hold on to your ideals, those ideals can become, very religious like. So it kind of makes sense. But yeah, it was. I mean, makes you wonder how much could the Brotherhood help, the other factions if they started sharing their technology. Maybe they would stop fighting. But I don't know. Humans will be humans even in the apocalypse. But anyway, I'm talking way too long. What do you guys think? Write your thoughts down below. Hope you enjoyed my reaction. Drop a comment, like, subscribe if you want, and I will see you in another video. Bye.